Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 96. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are all well. Please excuse my voice in this episode. I am once again recovering from the latest bout of germs, which I'm just going to take as a sign that I'm levelling up because I've had not one, not two, but 3 rounds of feeling rather shitty over the past couple of weeks, and I'm experiencing all of the symptoms of that. I don't love it, I won't lie, I'm absolutely off my tits on Lemsip, and I have had a headache relief frequency playing on a loop for about 48 hours. Also, did not do myself any favours at all by getting absolutely slaughtered on Friday night at my leaving do with my work friends. We had a lot of drinks and a lot of shots, but I did have a great time partying and dancing with my beautiful work friends, who I've now only got 4 more days with before I officially fly the nest. So that is exciting and terrifying in equal measure. But it has actually made me think, not the leaving part, the going out on Friday and getting slaughtered and feeling like shit all weekend, has made me think it is definitely time for me to stop drinking altogether. And this has been a long time coming. Like, for the past couple of years, I have been going off alcohol, like just progressively not enjoying it the same as I used to do, feeling really tired when I try and have a drink, like getting really anxious in the mornings after I've had a drink. Like, all the signs are there that is not for me anymore. I think probably to do with going through like a spiritual awakening a couple of years ago has had a big part to play in that. And I'm finding that it's just not the vibe anymore. So I've spent most of today going on YouTube and not YouTube, on TikTok, scrolling, feeling a bit sorry for myself, like just trying to recover from these germs and still a 2-day hangover. Looking at videos of like how to not be like the really boring one at a party, because I don't feel like I need the confidence of alcohol. I can still have a really good time. But do you know what, you'll know what I mean if you don't drink very often, and I don't drink very often these days. I find that about 10 o'clock, I'm like looking around the table and thinking everybody's getting on my tits a bit now. Like, everybody's really pissed and I'm not on the same level. But then I feel obliged to take everybody home because I'm driving. So I'm just trying to kind of figure that bit out, because I don't want to be like the bore at a party, but also I do not want to experience these horrible hangovers and feelings of anxiety and just not enjoying it anymore. So it is time to stop drinking for me. Not saying that I'm never going to have a glass of Prosecco again or never going to have a cocktail when I'm on holidays. However, I don't want to get drunk again. Just don't want to do it. I just make an absolute dick of myself, and that's fine, but I just don't want to do it anymore. Anyway, right, so let's move on. So just before I start talking about this week's topic, I just want to say a massive, huge, heartfelt thank you to every single person who has sent me the most incredibly kind messages this week after listening to my rather emotional 10 minutes at the end of the last episode, after I was talking about changing the name of the podcast from Positive Pig to Empower State. I'm so grateful for you all, and honestly, some of the messages that you sent me made me cry again. It's so lovely for me to hear that people feel like I'm their friend. Like, that is such an honour. And every time I record, I do so like I am voice noting all of my best pals. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here for the ride, whether you've just arrived or you are an OG listener. I'm so glad that you're here. So this week, after all of the kindness that I have received from you guys, and inspired by my lovely friend Jane, who sent me a voice note last week telling me about this like beautiful moment that she'd had by doing a random act of kindness for a stranger, I want to talk to you about kindness. very important subjects. The world needs more kindness. So, first of all, I want to talk about how kindness is linked to manifestation and how it can be used as a tool for manifestation. And that's because it plays a huge role in how efficient we are at manifesting, depending on how kind we are being. So when we're being kind to ourselves and to others, we are in this state of giving rather than holding on to what we have from a place of lack. So when we give, in whatever form that might take, that's from a place of abundance. It's a place of having enough and having an overflow so that you are able to give to others as well. And we are constantly sending out a vibration into the energetic field that we are in. We're all in it. We're all affecting each other's energy and we're all vibrating at the same time. And it depends on what's going on with us, what emotion we're having at the time, that creates the vibration. So the vibration holds a frequency, and the higher the frequency, the better experiences you're going to get in your 3D experience. So kindness is actually a form of love. And love is right at the very, very top of the frequency scale. So by being kind, you're allowing yourself to be in that really high vibrational state, which then in turn makes it much easier to attract those positive experiences to you. So when you give to someone, you'll also incite a feeling of gratitude, which is another really, really high vibrational state. So not only are you creating that high vibe state for yourself, but you're also having the same effect on them. You're creating this wave in the field of vibrations that's allowing both you and the recipient of the kindness to benefit from that. As you're already aware, I'm sure, kindness very rarely stops with the person who has received it. It tends to create a ripple effect. So your one seemingly small act of kindness can keep going and going and going and spread so much further than you ever could have imagined at the time of doing it. So something really small can have a massive, massive ripple effect on a huge number of people. Think about a time for a second of when you have been the recipient of some kindness, and think about how that may have changed your behaviours after that to show more kindness to others. So I'm pretty sure if you have a little think, you'll be able to think of a time, a day, a memory of when somebody was randomly kind to you and maybe you weren't expecting it, and that changed the way that you felt for the rest of the day, the way that the rest of your day or your week even went, and the way that you then treated other people with the same kindness. There's just something so special about kindness and its impact that it has. It can create incredible impact on so many people from just one small act. So today I want to share 5 examples of people being kind to each other in different ways to give you a little bit of inspiration. So some of them will be personal ones and some of them are ones that I have just read about or watched online. So the first one that I have got for you is there were a group of lads in America playing Knock-a-Door Run, which apparently, by the way, I've been educated by the kids at my school, has now been renamed by the younger generation to Ding Dong Ditch. So they were playing Knock-a-Door Run or Ding Dong Ditch, and these lads were about 10 years old. And one of them, whose name was Jackson, I think, he decided that instead of ringing the doorbell and just running away, what he was going to do was go up and speak into the cameras of the houses with the ring doorbells, you know, the one with the video recorder in, and give the person watching a bit of a like motivational pep talk. So you can watch these online, and he like reminded them that they're really important and that they matter. And it was just very, very heartwarming to watch this young lad just doing something very kind for somebody random that he didn't know about. And you just never know what the person who was watching that was going through at the time. Like, if they'd have had people like playing pranks on them and kind of winding them up, that might have sent them over the edge, depending on what they were going through. And just his like kind words might have completely changed the day, or even more, it could have done all sorts of good things for them. So the next one is a video that I watched, and this wasn't exactly a random act of kindness because it was about an elderly couple, but I absolutely loved it. So this woman had lost the ability to use her hands properly. I'm not sure what had happened, but she was no longer able to use her hands like she used to be able to. So to show kindness, her husband actually went with her to a salon, and he asked the women in there to give him lessons on how to curl her hair like she liked it, how to style it, and even how to put her makeup on for her in the morning so that she could still go about her day and feel good about herself, which I just thought beautiful. Love that. So the third one is one of my own. I think I've actually mentioned this before on the podcast, but there was this particular point when when I was still teaching and I had my own class, and I felt really stressed and I was really, really low and I was drained and it was just a bad time of my life. And I had this constant feeling of not being good enough for the children in my class, and that I was like failing my kids who I absolutely adored, and I just felt like a really shitty teacher at the time. And there was this one particular morning where it felt really bad, and I was driving to work and I was just crying in the car thinking like what a shit teacher I was. I wasn't a shit teacher in reality. It was just that there was so much to do in that job. You always feel like you're not really doing enough. And I was having a really bad day, and I walked into my classroom, and when you're teaching, you get a lot of notes, like little cute notes off the kids a lot. But there was just this one that really stands out in my mind, and there was just this little strip of paper with a handwritten note on it that said, "Miss Waddington, you are the best teacher ever." It makes me nearly cry. I can't cry in every episode, but I can't tell you like how much that little note in that exact moment meant to me. Like, it was so important because I was really struggling at that point, and it was just such a simple little thing, but it completely changed my day, it changed my week, it changed how I was with my class. I was so much more relaxed and just remembered what was important and what wasn't. So that had a real like ripple effect on lots of other people because of that one kind act. So the next one is a story that I read about on the internet, and it was about this guy who had a dog, and he took his dog every day to play fetch with him on the beach nearby where they lived with a tennis ball, and this dog really enjoyed that. It brought this dog a lot of joy. And then eventually the dog had passed away, so the owner decided that to remember that dog, who obviously meant so much to him, he would continuously fill up a big tub of tennis balls with like a little plaque and a note on to tell everybody that his dog had really enjoyed playing fetch with his owner and that it brought him a lot of joy, and asked each person to take a tennis ball so that they could then go on and have the same fun with their own pet. And I just thought that was so sweet and like such a lovely kind way to remember somebody that meant a lot to you, whilst also bringing joy to other people. And finally is one that I saw. It was just a little photograph that I saw. I think I just saw it on Facebook, and it was a photograph of a newspaper. And in this newspaper, a woman had written in a little note, like a little letter to be published on the like announcements page. And it just said, "Thank you to the man who gave me 20 cents for the ticket machine at the hospital car park on such a day when I couldn't find any cash. Thanks to you, I got to see my dad alive one last time before he passed away." And it just like shows how something so small, like giving somebody a really small amount of money because they're obviously struggling to find it in the car, or they're busy, or they seem to be in a rush, can have just the most immense impact on somebody's life. Like that 20 cents that somebody has given in that moment has allowed her to have those like final moments with her dad. And, that's just such an incredible impact. So kindness is really, really important. Like it literally can change people's life. And not only can it change their life, but it can also change your life, because whenever you are in that state of giving, you are also in a really high vibrational state. If you think about Christmas, like when you're a child, you're so excited because you're receiving all these gifts. But as an adult, you don't get the same joy from receiving as you do from giving. Or at least I don't. My favourite part of any time like a Christmas celebration is giving. Like that's the bit that brings us the most joy, and that's why everybody buys each other presents and things. So it's a really, really high vibrational feeling. The biggest area I think that we feel lack around is money. So I want to just share this little analogy that I've got for you to show you why the act of sharing your abundance with others will put you in the state of receiving, because it keeps the flow of energy moving, and money is just energy. Like anything, it doesn't have to be money that you're giving, but I'm just using this as an example because that's an area where we often feel like we have to hang on to what we've got, and it could put us into that state of lack. So imagine that you have got 3 silver coins in your hand, and then you've got the choice to leave your palm open or to close your palm tightly around those 3 coins. And if you leave your palm open, that means that anyone could come along and take what they need from you. So they'll take what you have, and that could make you feel fearful. So from a place of lack, you might close your fist tightly around the 3 silver coins that you've got. But in closing that fist around those coins, you are also blocking yourself from receiving more abundance. So yes, you're keeping what you've got, but you're blocking yourself from receiving more. Because just as someone might come along and take some of your silver coins, someone else might come along and place some gold coins in your palm. But they can only do that when your palm is open. So resisting the temptation to close off and to tightly grip what you've got and feel like you are coming from a place of lack, and allowing yourself to open yourself up and to give more freely really does put you in the best state to receive in every aspect, like not just with money. So if I ever feel like I'm skint, like if I've got less money than I would like to have, or I feel like I don't have enough for something, the very first thing that I will do is I will always find a way to give some of the money that I do have to someone else. So rather than spend it, like, just buy something, I will give it. I'll give it away. And that always results in that money plus some more finding its way back to me, always. Because by giving, we're opening up that metaphorical palm and affirming that we are abundant, that we're grateful for what we have and that we don't lack, and that we're ready to receive more. So there are lots and lots of different ways that you can give more kindness to others and therefore receive more back as well. And this week I've decided just now, as I'm recording, because I was going to give you a few ideas of things that you could do, but I feel like it would be a really good little challenge for us. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take those ideas that I had and I'm going to give you one a day that you could do. So come and join us in the Facebook group, and every day, what day is it tomorrow? I'm in bed now, it's Sunday night. So from Monday, I'm going to give you one a day for the rest of the week, a way that you can show kindness to others, and we'll do it together and come and share your experiences with me in the Facebook group. And hopefully by this time next week, you'll feel like you are really in a place of abundance and you're not in a place of lack. So I will share with you 7 different ways that you can give to others and be kind to others. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. And thank you once again for all the kindness that you have shared with me, whether it's been sending me lovely messages or listening to the podcast or leaving me reviews on the podcast. I'm so grateful for you all, and I'm sending you all lots of love, and I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will speak to you tomorrow in the Facebook group. I'll see you later.